Good morning, or whatever it is wherever you are. Well, you just hit the super energetic start part of the music. Alright, so I've got this in slow mode again. Hopefully in a couple of steps we'll actually be able to get to this as a regular feature. Right now I've just been kind of hacking up the default time display. Speaking of which, yeah, I still haven't figured out how to set the default frames per second. No, okay, so there's actually one thing I sort of want to keep here. I need to find that, because I moved the line that's referred to. There's always the danger of comments. It was actually something I kind of got from sample code. Oh, that means I'm going to need my own data server, because I was using the regular one for that. Ah, okay. It's like I thought you printed more. This is a whole map. There. All right, so we were working on sort of centralizing all of our data fetching. And right now we've still got, well, I mean, hopefully this will go into having a more consistent data, or having a data interface. I might still want to have like a default cache thing versus the live fetch. But this will set us up to display data. And the weird thing is, we're currently using this data set for the full display and the animated display. Which at the moment, and it could be debated whether they should stay that way, is the same layer. And it just says, well, is time running or not? And rewriting that layer to better work with the time stuff is another pretty big project. Well, I have a bunch of interface stuff I have to work out. Because I have been doing a tiled layer, which probably has trade-offs. Okay, I didn't reset you. So for both of these to work, we have to have the data. I guess we need a port method to ship data to this layer, which is going to be doing kind of what this stuff does. Uh, so it sets it in both layers, does a redraw, resets available times. Actually, so actually a lot, yeah, a lot of this is, yeah, set the data, and then that is, oh no, this is setting colors. Though I do almost want to make this 2 additional methods, because one is going to, I mean, it's to pass the data. But one is setting the time range, and one is pushing data to the data layers. Mm, well, I mean, setting the time range is kind of a set data layer thing. And so we still in a loop. And you might actually want to do a redraw after setting. Well, it's setting the time, not just the available times. So then this stuff. That. This isn't any Elm stuff we need to worry about. Min is not defined. Oh, you do need the times. Okay. Because that's for a specific coloring method that needs that data. Yeah, it's just min to max time. And I could go to the time dimension for that. Okay. That abstracts functions. So we've got a function we can call if we have data. The order of events well, this gets called when these overlays turn on. So for right now, we need to separately track if we have the data. Side knows when the layer turns on. We want to fetch this as raw data and just, because I don't think we need to process this on that end. Okay, matching lives from a search. There might be, I feel like that is going to imply a different consequent action. So we have monuments fetched. Right now we only have the one data layer. So we might be as simple as a maybe. Just a remote data bool? Okay, so that's an it. When we get, okay, search. Search anything, name there. So right now this is 48-hour burst and 48-hour burst annum. Which for our purposes do the same thing at the moment. So what does one of these do? Well, no, actually we do need to set remote data loading. And then we need to fetch. So right now, all we've got is fetch servers, lives, fetch monuments. So we have a base URL, you have an int, which we don't. Oh, we want to work towards making that an int. Oh, and there's the arguments. And perhaps opening this up as well. So parsing this would be a real problem for our decoders. Can't just use like matching lives. And did I rename that? I didn't rename that yet. Do we need to know which server that is? We're going to need parameters, but I think there's only going to be one data layer. All right, so now we've got a thing to call. You are model. No. And then we have to be able to respond. Similar to this. Well, I might want to say we got it for now. Model data layer. Now you were something like that, and we're going to do something like that, but we're getting just a lot of stuff right now. All right, we are not able to reach our bottom edge. Didn't go back enough. All right, and this should do those big requests twice. No, we haven't triggered this yet. Oh, no, I did. I did. Didn't change my URL though. Oh, because I backed out of it. Oh. Interesting. They have different causes. Alright, so we've got a monument list. I don't think it matters what layer it is. It's just going to be a data layer. Map. Monument list. Alright, we do not have to deal with multiple overlays. This is a consequence of adding it to the map, so we don't need to add it to the map. Does it set data layers? Yeah. Right, we haven't sent the command yet. Map UI. Where it comes back. Alright, and that continues to work as it did. So then we also need to catch that. Well, right now we always send it. So we have to check. Well, really, it's only on. Well, maybe not requested an error. Can you handle? Can you roll down multiple cases? Oh, I'm not really using that particular feature in my error handlers. Failed HTTP error. Oh no, lives equals failed error. Okay. So maybe it wasn't in all of them? Server list, servers equals. Oh, because I'm not keeping a remote data for you. And that's the one I copied. So that's when you come back. We could try again. If it is fetched or in flight, we just do nothing? Okay, we cannot handle multiple cases at once. Oh, this is failed with an error that we don't care about right now. Except maybe we should display it somewhere. And we should not then request that again. And you've already got the data, so you can display it. So now I need to make that into a function because we have two things that end up doing it. So you are going to be a model. I don't know if I have any arguments at the moment. So now you should get data. And you should get data, and they can both play nice. I know that is require recent lives. That is the name I was trying to think of there. So right now, this is just recent lives. Okay, and that gets all of that managed in one place. That's still a pretty small thing. I'm tracking data download. Now, one of the things that's been bugging me a little bit is whenever I open this, it pops over the thing I had clicked on. So I might want to see about doing that on the other side. If that even ends up. So that's the immediate thing. Minus any positioning that has to go along with that. I'm also going to want to switch around some of the icon stuff here. Okay, so I think when it was the other side, it ended up cutting into the map. But this actually gets complicated because we essentially have to offset the map position Yeah, so it's interesting. So this thing is still here. Okay, so our computed, no, our layout. And that was the map. Body. You can compute a width. Okay, 941. The map. Computed width, 941. Okay, so you are actually not being properly adjusted to the remaining space. So that's kind of it. So your container is width fill, height fill. $611. So what's the map? Oh. Actually, it's SVGs, I think I was thinking of. So yeah, map is 100%, 100%. Which means that map container is not position relative, or something like that. HTML attribute. Yeah, you do all your own styling. No, well, HTML attribute. So I wish I had a function for this again. That seemed to slide just as much. So you're... Okay, you are 6'11", but it's still not really... Wait. Is it just not like aware of that? Give me a reference point. Is it shrinking things? Or squishing things, rather? It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe with the smaller window. Yeah, I don't think so. It could be a lot more squished. Yeah, so the awkward thing about that is we want to make sure the center is still in the view. What do you do if you change the map size? Arguably, you would want to offset the current pixel coordinate. Well, or we arrange to make this a overlay, but that would cut out these things. Maybe I'll leave it on the other side for now. Resizing a leaflet map. Map container is done via CSS transition. Invalidate size. Map.invalidate size. Does not move the map. More or less map tiles. Well, there's an navbar kind of thing. That detects the event. Map.redraw. So is map container the leaflet map, or is it the thing around it? Another panel. Okay, so that's the event. All right, so to test that, Okay. Oh, no, we want search. Okay, so that does... definitely does something. So we do that. And it probably is going to have to be a timeout thing. And then there's a way to delay a task. Unfortunately, ports are not tasks, they are commands. Focus, sleep, perform a task, get the time, and then returns a task. Transform a task. Wasn't there a way to delay a task? Was it not in the task module? Or was that in the old version? Because there used to be a thing you could do that could construct a timeout, a set timeout like thing. Was that the time module? Now every Elmline core. Oh no, it's like a process thing, not a task thing. Yeah. Block progress in the current process is the set timeout, which lets you delay work until later. But that's a task again. I can't send a command from there. I know that there's a way I've like delayed a message to myself. Oh, I guess I could send like an invalidate message to JavaScript and let it deal with the time delay. Because Elm isn't really going to know when it's refreshed its page either. Yeah, so it's like a task.succeeder. No, it's time. Perform creates a. You perform a task, you get a command. So a message. Task that can result in blah. Well, so there is. The message was produced by a command. I might be able to do a sort of functional composition thing where the task generates a command and then we just ignore our argument and send a new command. Well, I could just try sending it. I mean, it is going to be asynchronous. Search overlay. Display results. Oh, this is what turns the overlay on if we click on the map. Well, it's not necessarily the same thing as a layout change. It's getting pretty close. It's not really an argument, though. And I should change that. Map dot, what was it? Invalidate size. So we want to do that whenever we change sidebar open. We didn't expose it. Oh, no, different names. I mean, I guess since this is a leaflet module, we could call that invalidate size, because that was like a set view. That's a little bit better name. So we might still have a timing issue. Yeah, a little bit. Can I actually do that in U? Because everything that calls that is going to want that effect. In which case, maybe better do it on the JavaScript side. But, so that goes into a leaflet command, which is a command. We know we want to do a platform. No, not platform. Process. Now it says current process. So does that mean we want to cannot receive any messages if task 1 makes a long HTTP? Well, that's a command. And we're probably going to need task. We're going to need the task type. Process spawn a task, which is just a thing that returns a task. What's still the argument? And the and then takes its result if it's successful. But we need the task first. The task is to process.sleep. But that's in the process. Oh, we haven't executed this yet. So we process.sleep, which is a task. Except it can handle failures. I don't think this will, we don't expect this to fail. So this wants a perform. Oh, but you want to be able to get back a message. We don't actually care about our message. Isn't there a basic that just ignores its argument? Well, no, it has to return something. Well, there's an always. Process.sleep. So you give me a task. No. You also need a task. All right, so maybe we need to do some type signature chaining here. What we want is, well, we want this function, which is a command message that is going to send my leaflet command. And that's a nothing. To get there, we think we need to perform something that is a command message, which means we can command map it to a command message. And that takes an A to a message. So that is going to be some sort of don't care to send my leaflet command. So to call that, we need to get a command message, which is going to be a perform and a task, task.perform, which is an A to message to a task, never A to a command message. So we want this to be there because we don't care about it. So we need to do a perform. No, this is a task never A. Oh, can we only do this on tasks that can't fail? But that means we need to get a task. The task we want is at least the sleep. No, actually, yeah, this sends the command, so maybe it is just the sleep. Which is float to a, well, this called it a task X, not a task never. This does in fact do here, but this has to be a nothing to a nothing. So this is actually, well, always is when called. This would be like more like identity. Yeah. So process sleep. That's the perform. What does the spawn do for parallelization? Because we wouldn't want to hold up our main process. It says block progress on the current process. Well, does that mean well, I can do it for a very, very long time and see if anything happens. That might get rid of the spawn requirement, which is actually still a task. So that wouldn't be too hard to put in there. So we do we do task.perform that thing, But task.perform wants the message mapper, which we're going to call identity because we don't care. That is going to give us a command. So we want a command.map of a nothing. Of an always, and I should probably pull this out. Layout change command. So that's like the actual thing. And then this is going to be like our internal helper. And we still got all this junk. Identity. Command message. Oh. It only maps the message. Yeah, this isn't too broken right now. So I did some stuff to render a bunch of tiles, which are actually easier to see there. And then we've got a bunch of recent life log data, which could also be animated. Oh, I guess it. Okay, there we go. Ah. Yeah, this is largely self-motivated. I'm just really fascinated by this stuff. All right, so this maybe there's an and then I can use. But I do need to take a short break, so I will be back in a few minutes. I don't know who else I can juggle right now. The interface is just kind of terrible for figuring out what you can do there. Alright, so now I think we can build most of this. Or definitely want to get rid of that tile so they don't keep having slime coming into it.
Why can't you stay alive and all that stuff? And then I got the game myself and I was like, oh, I see. But it was just so unique to me. So different. People compare it to Don't Starve Together, which I've never played. That's the game I've mostly seen it compared.
Oh! Oh man, that was.
Let's start the show!
Here, I'll just do all the work for you. Alright, have fun. Hit them once. Oh, look, you're doing such a good job. You're doing so well. Yeah, you can't get me up there, can you? Yeah, no, you can't. Really? Come on, guys. Just one. There we go. Proud of you. learn how to clip.
Oh no.
Oh, and
Where did that come from?
no fucking idea. See how heavy metal death rock and that.
Right, it's up
Fucking
now.
hell.
Right, you should be running. Fucking hell, Rick.
Welcome back, everybody. I gotta remember to unmute myself. Yep.
All right, welcome back. All right, so this is all task stuff. Future plans. So process command has a map. Yeah, it might have to be one of those things where you send a message and then the message sends the thing you actually want to do, or does the thing you actually want to do. Which I guess you could embed the command in the message. It would just have to be sent by the main loop. Which makes this interface leaky. Is this current? That might not be. This is Elm 19. Of course, does it send commands? Well, it sends a message, which we could figure out how to do. Yeah. And nothing. Okay. So do we want this to have the like a loop back message? Or do we handle the delay? Well, I guess this is where we just handle the delay in JavaScript because Elm doesn't really like doing this kind of thing. So layout changed. Set timeout. I mean, it might even be a set timeout 0. Oh, did I send that yet? Yes. That seems smaller than before. Maybe it's tile alignment. I guess I should crank it up to see if it even works at all. Oh, no, because we have a delay. A significant delay. Okay, so it works at all. And I don't know of any way to determine the actual time that a paint takes. Yeah. That's enough to be a hitch. Even that's still a little bit of a hitch. And also not enough sometimes. Well, that's annoying. Because if I put it on the other side, then that replaces this place that we're toggling this. And maybe the answer is not to toggle it with the layer like this. Or to put it in as an overlay on the map, which will block out these elements. And admittedly, I'm pretty much never using these, and I'm not looking at this too much. Or maybe I just need alternate controls for this. So I'm not dependent on this thing. Then I could actually put... Well... Technically, we're not invaliding size at all before. So it's possible that if we try to be proper about that... Oop, didn't wait for the compile. Yeah, there's still a little hitch, but it's not as bad. Overall, which is... I guess because the base position of things isn't moving. Although, so it's improper just to insert an element over here. Somewhat. But it actually does kind of look better. And then I guess I could solve this problem by putting the controls somewhere else. Oop. Or just a button for just that or something. You can put these controls in other places. It's just they don't tend to, or other things tend to stack weird. Plus, I've got, oh yeah, the time control over here. That would not be great if we overlapped that. I could also put somewhere else. There's really only corners and the stacking gets weird. Yeah, I may have stumbled into the best compromise here. Until I get a better idea. Alright, that is less jarring. Alright, so what we really want to do is I think I'm going to have a separate layer for data. It might eventually replace one of these. But for the moment, I'm not sure I want to break that. Well, I'm currently suddenly sending one data layer. So I would need to be able to send multiple layers if I didn't want to do that. So the names will just be inappropriate while we work this out. Oh. Yeah, so I think I wanted a close, but if I'm going to open a search interface for that, or for the data layer, you'd want the ability to turn the search interface off while leaving the data there. So you wouldn't want to tie that directly to here. So I kind of have to have, or solve, having some sort of on-map control to open something else anyway. Okay. Alright, so that can probably be a leaflet control. Process DOM events. Oh. So that would have been a better way to handle... Oh. I didn't even think to look for that. Oh, map. Because I had to go through a bit of stuff. Yep. an add hook which runs on the event list. That's device orientation, tilt. By default, map has the same name as the handler. Type of event, a map handler can attach event to the document, the window, or the container. Well, I really wanted specific layers. Although I guess it's a, Well, it works for now. That's a thing we might want to think about later. Custom layer methods, so somewhere, leaflet handlers, all controls an HTML element in a static position, on add, on remove, HTML element, position, it's clickable buttons, l.dom event, oh, okay. More than one element, create the whole hierarchy and return the topmost container. So we kind of want something like one of these, probably. So this is the super simple skeleton, although we'll need to do events. And we do a control already? So you're doing the map stuff. Control scale include. It is defining controls, it's just stock controls. All right, so we need, right, to avoid this issue, well, since that appears here, that might be more okay in this case. It's closing this menu that was annoying. So now the question is, do we have one sidebar? So we're going to have like search for a character, and we're going to have data options. So is that one sidebar with tabs? That might be the way to go. Okay, so well, there's a sidebar button. All right, this is not an image. this is where leaflet source. So you are a multi-layer thing. So this is like a layer control. Layer control inputs. Oh, we didn't go straight to the layer control, huh? How about, oop. What's our init function? There's something we have to call to create this. Oh, it's layers well, control dot layers. Okay. All right, initialize on add. So you've got internal stuff. On add to map. Okay, so init something must make the container. Oh, that's on add. They said to use on add. Ah, okay, so that's doing one extra little thing. That's on remove. Turn the layers off. And base layer, add overlay, expand, collapse, init layout. Aria has pop-up. Oh, we might have to do some of that. Those are internal functions. If collapse this dot on click. And if it's hover. Oh, map. The map on click collapse. So they're using a link. This expand, this collapse. Now, I necessarily want the focus stuff. So it's going to be something like this. All right, control layers, that is cyberbar. So there's the on add, on remove. You did not convert endings. Okay, so that sent it directly. So what is it like? Is it Control V? Yeah. All right. So this is relying on some internal helper functions. Although this probably ends up mapped as like DOM-util. DOM-util create. This dot options, so that we don't care about. This is not a pop-up. So it's not really an interactive layer. Okay, so that is not exposed. Well, it has to be on a per event basis. We can look up how to do that if we need to. Alright, because there's another character out here, so it looked like there was actual stuff on those lines. Okay, so we don't need section. It's not collapsed per se. What do we call this? Well, it's initially search. Is touch a global thing in Leaflet? Yep. And then pointer. We might not care about that. Because that was for like the hover. Yeah, it's clicker focus. Yeah, because you wanted hover. Stop. Well, that's a touch mode thing. If not collapse, this expand. Okay, so what we actually want to do is send a event. So this is going to be right now. Return. We don't need the map. We do have an event to clean up, though. Okay, there's a bunch of those. They don't seem to be removing their click events. Well, I guess if they're on the elements themselves, they're sort of implicit. Or still want us to do that. Okay. Oh, this is not going to be on. Yeah, it's going to be l.dom util.on. Oh, and that's there. Oh, where is... Okay, in container. Oh, I might need to remember that to shut things off. All right, so the thing that we actually have to do add to map. Well, we don't have a map yet. Okay, so there's the scale. There's all our port stuff. Yep, .ports.leaflet.send. This dot expand. Now this is really going to be expand collapse. So you don't receive that event yet. Although, do I have a hook where I could... Yeah. No, we can... Let's get that. l.domutil.on is not a function. Oh, that's DOM event. Okay, some copy code stuff. Oh. Well, if that's leaflet.js, well, okay, so it's, did I accidentally touch that? No. So we passed an invalid argument to something. Well, we are in fact going to have to switch back to source now. Because that's not useful. corner. Okay, so apparently we did not. Oh, maybe let's see. Put in an inappropriate case here. Yep. You know what? I didn't give you really any content. Probably they used pure styling to put this button and stuff in here. So the button. Okay, so leaflet right. Leaflet control container. Attribute. Leaflet scale. Leaflet bar. So did your init even get called? Yeah, your on add got called. I probably need to make sure there's content here. Create an A tag. In container. So what does attributions look like? On add, container create, this dot update, I guess. Container.inner HTML is some text. So for a bootstrap, okay, it's just invisible. That's all. Leaflet. Leaflet controls. Oh, so it's the layers toggle is like the sub control. Oh, they're doing it as the background image. I'm not sure I want to do background image because I'm going to have some icons in here at some point. But this might be the point where we need to do an outboard style sheet. Okay. You know what? I probably forgot to put that in public. That was not helpful. Yep. Note for myself. Upload style. New file. All right, so well, it's not really a leaflet control, but leaflet control. So to make it stylistically match, well, that's control layers. That might be everything, and then it's also this. Leaflet touch is bigger. Now I guess to be consistent, we could call it toggle. List toggle expanded display none, expanded. Selector label separator. The corners feel a little bit off. Maybe they have some default, looks like a border maybe? Leaflet touch, leaflet. Is that a leaflet bar? So the problem is I can't actually click on this thing. Well, I guess it's going to be very, very similar to these. Aha! It is a leaflet bar. Where? Oh, but that's the only thing that's a leaflet bar. So there's something else on that toggle. Layers link, create toggle. So there's leaflet control layers, scroll bar, expand. Background position, background repeat. Expanded display none. Okay, so there's that container. Layer, leaflet control layers toggle. Leaflet control. Okay, so there's still a leaflet control there. Oh. It's a toggle toggle. Oh, so toggle was actually the link itself. So it's a leaflet, well, it's not really sidebar, but the event's still good. With the control. That will leave the style on the... Okay, so the things that were on the toggle in leaflet is background position, background image. So that is the width and the height is actually on the link. So leaflet control layers. Oh, I copied some stuff here. Your tabs. No, I want to replace you with space. Actually, does just fix indent? Sorta. So you probably need something background image. Background size. Background is a display block. But display block is with the toggle properties in that one because it's switching back and forth. Maybe it doesn't matter. Leaflet control radios. Oh, layers. No, we got you, right? Yeah, background border radius. Display none. That's the layers list. Control layers expanded. No, that's the layers expanded, not the... label. It's not a label. It's not a separator. Leaflet oldie. Well, I don't think we're leaflet oldie. Unless that's the default. Huh. Well, I guess we have to double up on size. And then set this twice. Which still doesn't match that style. Okay, so that's not active. Also, if we have to do that, we can at least do you. Well, I mean, that's a border property, right? And it's going to be easier to find on this thing. Oh, that's leaflet touch. So we're in touch mode? Oh, maybe it's window width. No. Hmm. The size seems about right. And I can't really, well, I can select this, which is DOM adjacent to it. That's the hidden bit. Layers toggle. Maybe it's just built into the image. Well, this still has the border on it, though. Maybe that's shadow, not border. Or could it be that thing? Border. Where the heck are you? Leaflet control layers. Border radius. Oh, it's leaflet bar and this. Hey there. I don't suppose you'd like to make me an overlay. Wait. Wow. They don't care about timeouts. Or maybe it was already queued. Okay, we want to... All right, got that to match. I think I set up to see, well, it's a link. And then, okay, error. And I just had nothing to put there. I could put the kind. We've already got that. I'm going to report that elsewhere. All right, so I already get that. So you are receiving that and leaflet. Select points, overlay add, overlay remove. Yeah, that pretty much just is. You don't have any awareness of the state. I might want to sync that for visuals. Detected error. String to event. Oh, I use error elsewhere. Oh. Well, can I get anything useful out of that, though? An error. There is an error to string. Map error. I can do it in one step, I think. Oh, but it's still a result. This is a result.map error. Oh, because that was with default. That only maps the error itself. With default unwraps it. Now you see, I want to return a particular result. But I want to return, well, I could return it as a result. Jinta, how's it going? I saw you doing something with URLs earlier. You're like trying to parse them for your library or something? Ah, yeah, it's I don't think I've ever had to do any really low-level stuff. I've had to play with them a bit, but you usually got some lower-level library that takes care of the really hairy bits. I'm trying to do a little bit better error reporting here. Because I just had a dummy error type, but now I actually want to provide a parameter to it. But I don't see a method on my file handling. Oh. Okay, yeah. That's a neat little trick. Yeah, I've done a fair bit of modding on Planetary Annihilation, which takes the extraordinarily heavyweight option of using embedded Chrome as the UI, which has a lot of issues. Remember using process usage being one of them. But it does mean that you've got resources as URLs. There's a special thing for internal URLs, which actually just kind of get resolved into this like overlaid set of directories. I don't know if there's any internal ones in the binary per se, but that's definitely a nice property. So we can, with default, to take it to a very particular known thing. But if we've actually got error information in the result, well, this is the event type. Event takes it to a sub message. Leaflet event, decode event, the tagger, message tagger. So if decode event returned a result event, well, we would have to specify the error type. And we would kind of have two error types. We would have the internal error type and the decoding error type. Well, no, we can map that to that. But that means the event decoder, what do you do? Decode value, So it actually, to make those the same result, I would need to map like a result and then. Oh, interesting. Load the bookmark. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that being a nice property. Ooh, I didn't know about that. And then to result. Or maybe I could and then into a result that re-encodes it as successful with my error message. I'd still have to provide a dummy default to get back to a value. So that actually maps it back to the error. We'd still just maps the value of the error. So somewhere in here we want to do a result.and then. Two valid month. Oh, so this is meant for two consecutive. Ah, yeah. Consecutive results. So those are originally supposed to be independent events. I am building. Well, I've got this map that is from a game world, and also you can get a bunch of data on it. And I'm trying. So right now I've got this sort of hack where if you turn on a certain layer, you get the sidebar which moves everything over. So I'm trying to develop a little thing that fits in here, which opens that and might not be quite as jarring. But I now have well, I saw that I had some information I could report in this error message, which meant I wanted to report some similar information if the event decoding failed. But that doesn't allow me to just say error with no argument. No, I actually need to get that information back into my output. Now I guess I could have this return a result, handle the error as a result, and use and then to go from the JSON or the object decoding to the event decoding. Then the application would just have to handle errors as a result instead of an internal error type, which I guess there's actually a certain amount of attraction to that. We just have to change all of this stuff. Well, that's a decoder event, so this has to become a decoder. Wait, this is a decoder. So we'll have a result whose internal value is a result. Oh, so, yeah, so then we just use a result operation to map that out. Result event. Now your internal error message is a string. I might have trouble with object compatibility here. So the argument order is error value. But that means that all of this stuff has to return a result. Anti-Weir, thank you for the follow. So that is an okay. Never sure about function binding order. Well, I guess this is kind of why I don't necessarily do results most of the time. But this is the only way to get a result out of this that I know of. So this still has to be decode succeed. Oh, no, I can actually call decode fail on this. So that might... Yeah, that might make it a little bit cleaner. And then we don't have to do any of this stuff. And probably if it fails strings, that would be somehow the internal string value of that. So decoder is already a thing that can be a result. But to get the error back, right, I was saying with default my error message before, so it still has to be result. Oh, but a result has an error type. So if I left it alone, it would be a JSON decode error, which admittedly we can't do a whole lot with. But it does give the outer thing the option to do that, or to determine what that is. And then probably failure. So this would be a decode.error. And then we have to pass to it map UI all right, so now all of this is now we have to deal with multi-level stuff. keep wanting to take capital K. And more events than I thought. Oh, because I was decoding all the individual. Maybe I should have a special case for that, or a sub case for that. And somewhere down here we have an error. Which, for all I'm doing with it right now, we can probably just put out. Maybe I still have a signature in there that's not matching up. So it's going to do with a tagger. Oh. An event to a message. Oh, no, we have to specify you are a result decode dot error. Needs two maybe I messed this up. The event constructor. This has to be map UI, your event. Oh, no, it's a result. So that's actually only one thing. Missing possibilities. Event OK. Oh, right, this is the message we just added when we got into the whole error message thing. And where did I put that in the list? Do we have a not operator? Well, this is going to end up having to do more stuff. Because we don't have the automatic add that we would get by piggybacking off of the built-in thing. Yeah, I guess I could have that for consistency. But it does work. Now, actually, I may have done other steps to make sure that's visible. I forget who I played recently. Okay, so that did not turn on the layer. Select points. So when we get back a matching lives, display results. So this is pretty much exactly the same. So if we open from here, where was it? Yeah, maybe it was. There was a big family like this more recently, and I've forgotten what it is now. Okay, so that actually makes it pop up. So I want a better, and possibly even a different corner. Well, it kind of makes sense from here, but it's also really easy to overshoot and block yourself. All right, so that does all the hard stuff. Oh, as I build out this sidebar, I am not going to want to auto-hide that search layer. Because it isn't really going to be search long run, it's going to be all data stuff, and so you want to set up a data layer and then disappear you. And we got onto so many tangents on this. Oop, we still got our source. All right, custom, well, the important thing first. And that means I'm going to need a new icon. So this isn't going to be strictly search. I think I might want to like tab the sidebar or something, just so I don't keep putting so many buttons on the map. Alright, don't necessarily have anything super appropriate here. It's a stylized version of it, but it's same idea. It's going to be stuff on the map, so that might make sense. Oh, it's going to be more point data than pins most of the time. Filter. You're going to be able to set what data is displayed, maybe do some coloration eventually. And it is in fact called filter. Oh, and I did do some internal renaming. So that makes the updates. I mean, I guess I can grab this and I can probably just find the individual bit I need. Now, did I ever put this in the README? I don't even have a README yet. Another project. All right, reference material. And the symbols are kind of all in one file. I guess. That may. Well, no, users wouldn't have been alphabetical. So they put it right before Twitter. Which I still have to actually use. All right, so now I've been relying on Elm to generate icons. This is going to be pretty much in the straight up page. So this would be more like demo HTML. Actually, regular copy works here. But now I do, well, they created all of the elements. Can we just do inner HTML here? Oh. Href. Oh, this is where we had to do, because that was an embedded document, which I'd love to use, but it doesn't work with Elm anymore. Okay, so this does have the text. Oh, yep, there we go. So this was the example. And you were colored a link because you kind of are a link. Right, so they did background and used background stretch to do it. I don't know if that would work as a background even. We could try. I may have left out some other background properties. Background position, background repeat. Can we do appears to be no. So you specifically have to have the XUs thing. Symbol defs. Oh, icon filter. That would help. Oh, it's not really a background image. These are expecting to be colored. This is probably a full color thing. So, yeah. So now, would that be more like you? Or are you also... Yeah. Leaflet control zoom, border. Okay, so the font doesn't matter as much. Oh. Bold 18 font size. Interesting. Nope. Border. Font size 22. Okay, so that did get overridden. Has a little bit of an effect. So what the heck is controlling you then? Have I never had to scale these before? No. What do I do with those? URL. label. Font size inherent. Font size 20 pixels. Oh, that's the path, that doesn't matter. Shadow root. Oh, what are you overridden by? Leaflet container. I mean, sure, but we've got a much more specific rule. But not more specific in specificity. Oh, also, this isn't even on. Which explains some of the sizing issues I was having earlier. Oh, no, because this one wasn't doing it. Oh, maybe that was where I had to do that? And we're not sure about that one. That definitely solves that. All right, so display, text indent. Of course, the reason they might have used background is for centering. So does this do anything? Well, it does some of that. What are we doing? What are we doing to center these? Text align center, which seems maybe better than that. Maybe. I've still got the background position in there. Oh, that's okay. That's them. What is positioning you? Oh wait, I'm on. I thought I switched over here. Oh, but these are generic leaflet control things. Yeah, that big of an effect. Maybe it's line height combined. Oh, yeah, because this is a larger box. I still wouldn't say, so oh, there might be a multi-level container here. No? That's the full space. Well, maybe these glyphs just have more space. Because they're regular text. We made it full size. I mean, padding our margin would work. Just something big so we can see it. Now, you see, that's expanding the container. There's always good ol' so I can sort of see why they did background. And the sad thing is if I did do Elm UI, I would have had center things for this, but I have to spin up Elm for an element. Okay, so there is some. It's a path icon. Oh, I'm offsetting this thing within the box. So in order to offset it, I kind of need to have a second element there just for the visual portion. Well, it's the SVG within it. So really, we want you to be relative. And this SVG to be offset. So that looks like a better clip target. Now in this case, all the link colors don't look good. Did I not? Oh, I didn't set them here. Is it black? Yeah, looks like that's their default color. Okay, and that does override the link attribute. All right, so this is it. The icons are not black though. So to maintain parity with that, it's probably okay given that it has a different contrast level. Now I also had, we called it search. Well, link title. Data filter. Actually, is there, I don't know if it's got scatter plot. These things would actually be kind of appropriate for the where the data patterns go. No, super appropriate. Okay. Icon for data filter button. So unfortunately, we spent a lot of time getting a button to work and not so much time getting actual filtering to work. Map. You probably have an example? Yeah. Uh, I probably need to talk about the config stuff. So icons, yes, there. That's one of the reasons we wanted this. All right. They're kind of both. Leaflet map of live game world. With an elements link below. Our interface for filtering. It relies on a separate data server. for life data and this project does not include tile generation. So the other thing we have to do is, so this is, yeah, we're only using this file. Possibly should have an example file. But it also shouldn't change very often. Nope, that's old. A server may be required for some references. Tile paths and data server are configured in all right, that's a very basic README. It's probably missing a lot because I don't necessarily expect lots of other people to be setting this up. But we got our credit in, linked to other companion projects. Am I in the wrong directory? Oh, this is gets diff. All right, so we can open that separately. That's not in and of itself any particularly useful feature. I will need to add something within that interface to change us over to more of a data filtering thing. And then I might have to convert, well, I'll start with a different layer and then transition 48 hours into the data output with an option to do animated separate from the layers themselves. Although it is sometimes useful to be going along. And I may also want to do something where the data layer is only automatically change back layer. Okay, and how is this relative to everything else? Some might have to think about that one. But that's about as good of a stopping place as we're going to get, I guess. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Jinta for bringing some friends. Let me see if I can recommend anything. All right, and this is about when I tend to stream. All right, so it looks like nothing's jumping out as other web-ish development. I do see, well, Sean the Best is doing some Rust. I don't know if people do web services with that. I think of it more of a systems language, but I also don't know it that well. So Ripper, someplace cool to hang out. That's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.